Ay, this ain't a drill. Only time I plan is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay with some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and Aaron. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills dominating on the field. And our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? We are back live here at the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. It's your boy Aramis.
And this Key.
Let's go, man. We got a big game coming up on Sunday. Big game. I titled this joint A Shot at Greatness.
A shot at greatness.
Shot at greatness.
Yeah, I tell you
that's what's on the line right now.
I'll tell you another thing that's great and shot of is that coffee over there.
Sip it.
Man, I do apologize to you guys, man. Today has been a day, but we're here. We're here. We made it. We made it thus far.
No doubt. Well, man, listen. Let's dive into this thing. What you got? What you want to start with?
Hey, I mean, you know what? Potluck. Let's start with the feel of the interviews, the pressers we had the last 2 days.
Let's do it.
Just a different feel, wasn't it? It was just different. You know what I didn't hear?
I did say it.
Well, you know what I didn't hear?
What?
Respectfully, I like to keep that in house. Not one time.
Yep.
You know what I didn't see? I didn't see a straight face that was evasive. I saw somebody that answered the questions that they were asked.
Tried to give as much detail as possible.
The detail.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they asked who's more likely to be on IR. He said Micah. Never would you have heard that before.
Right.
Never would you have heard that before.
Everything short of picking you up, putting you on his lap, and stroking your hair. Like that's what he's been all week long.
That's it. And you know what? And I watched him. I'm like, you know what? Why was he like this? What were you looking at? I mean, you saw the post game speech and everybody. We got you, coach. I mean, they got a culture in the locker room. Mm-hmm. Fine, it works for them. But why was he like this? Because you can see a difference, and sometimes you can't change. You can't even act differently. You know, that's a completely and stark difference from where he's been the last 6 years of this thing.
Right. But I think so. To me, that's kind of what's troubling. Is the fact that he's got the ability to kind of flip that switch like that and be gentle and be welcoming and be, kind in his communication during these press conferences, where he really hasn't been that in years? Yeah. It's been a few years since we've seen this Sean, right?
I don't think he's been like that since he's been our head coach, honestly.
Right. So you talking about since he first got the job?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, it's almost like, I mean, I'm not going to say it because it would make me feel good and it would be a good thing for Buffalo to hear, but I'm going to stop short of saying that he actually listened to the criticism, he listened to and thought about what was going on. I'm not going to go there yet, but it was a welcome change to the whole feel. Stephon Diggs' interview yesterday. I mean, I keep saying interview. His press conference yesterday. He was forthcoming. He wasn't standoffish. Wasn't defensive. He was just there, and and he answered everything. And he talked about his brother. He talked about lack of targets or lack of productivity in the last couple of weeks. It was a beautiful thing, man.
Right. But like to me, and so what you're pointing out, what you're bringing out is the team is always going to be a reflection of the head coach. Mm-hmm. When he's chilling and he's not lax, but when he's relaxed,
yes,
and not tense and tight and stressing and stressed. Everybody else can do the same. Everybody else can kind of decompress and just look. We have nothing to lose now, and that's the other part of this too. They're at a point in the season where they ain't got nothing to lose, right? Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like one more game, any of these games, one more game, and they're out pretty much. It's this percentage-wise.
They're still in it. Like I guess they say you can win. I had it last week. I didn't say it, but I had it last week where if we went out, we were like 72%. And this was before the Miami debacle. Yeah. If they lost to Dallas, there were different percentages of success based on who they lost to.
Right. Like Dallas is the one game they can afford to lose. They can afford
to lose that. I don't want them to lose. See, if people are like, they're talking about, we do this, we're in, we can afford to lose. Nah, I'm greedy, man.
Right. I want this one too.
Yeah, I'm greedy, man. I want all the meat off the bone.
Right.
I want all the meat off the bone. I want that thing
down
clean.
to the gristle.
Down to the gristle.
Yeah.
Because they're 7-6 now. So if they went 3-1, they would be what my prediction said, which was 10-7.
Yeah.
And if they went out, you were right, at 11-6. So I mean, I'd be happy either way as long as they're in the playoffs and they make some kind of noise. You know, I mean, yeah, they overcame some things that, you know, with the coaching change with Dorsey to Brady and you know, there were injuries. I will give him that, but that's not a hindrance.
Right.
It's just a different look. So, you know, if this wasn't Super Bowl year, fine. This is a weird AFC year anyway.
That's what I was gonna say. Wouldn't it be something if the McDermott report that came out from Tyler Dunn was the linchpin of the success of this entire season? Like if that was the moment that caused Sean to kind of just dial it back a little bit, right? Trust your team a little bit more, and that ends up being all that was needed this entire time was that one thing that happened for him to just slow down a little bit.
And my thing is, you know, we'll keep it in house. You can't, honestly, I just thought about it. You can't say that.
No.
Because everything that you keep in house is now going to be in that report.
Right, exactly.
The report was in house, so there's no more.
That's it. That's it. I mean, like that was the best part about it is once you're like, think about it. Once I get exposed, once somebody sees me naked, there's no shame at like everything else I do after that point is less embarrassing than being seen naked. Right. So, you know, even if Sean had the attitude, which I think he does, of, well, I can't lose any more now than I've already lost, right? Because I've already had up until this win last week, I had a 500 season. I've been a 500 or below head coach the entire time without Daboll, as I've said before.
And I thought about you. I didn't cut you off, but I thought about you. What was Brandon Staley's record when he got fired?
Was he 500?
500. 500.
Yeah, there's a big difference between a 500 defensive coach and a 500 offensive coach. And like I was thinking about this today too. If Sean McDermott was an offensive minded guy, a lot of the problems that we have now wouldn't even exist. We would probably, you know, depending on who he hired as defensive coordinator, be talking about what the defense needs to do to improve to be able to stop people from scoring, because every game is a shootout, right? But when you think about the difference between someone who's defensive-minded and someone who's offensive-minded, it's almost always defensive is pessimistic and offensive is optimistic, right? And you see the offensive coaches being aggressive and thinking the best or hoping the best or you know, seeing a vision of the best happening with every play that they call. Defensive, I don't trust anybody, right? Yeah. We got to shut everything down. Everything's got to be controlled. Everything's got to be slowed down. Everything, like that's the nature.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say that's the nature of the whole thing. You know, defense is reactive. You got to react on defense, and you know, when people say the offensive minded and the defensive minded, I think even myself got skewed. Because when you hear that, it's like you said, it's a stigma. I think I should take it a step further in what I say. I think the ex-defensive player will say can be a head coach. Yeah. But the defensive-minded part is that's the part that's going to get you, because now you're playing not to lose. Yeah. You're not playing to win. See, offense is attacking. Yep. I'm trying to dissect what you're going to. I'm going to try to deceive you. That's where you get all those weird Chan Gailey's and things like that. Mike McDaniels over in Miami, where you get those kind of guys where they're like, you know what, I'm going to find some new, what's the word, trickeration they like to say.
Trickeration.
And I'm going to beat you in a new exciting way.
Was that a Rex word, trickeration?
Somebody's word.
There was
a announcer that said it.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah. Somebody, I knew somebody here came up with that.
But say, guys, I didn't make it up. Trust me, I didn't make that word up. Somebody laughed at me. I said it once. They're like, trickeration. As a matter of fact, you know what's funny about it? It was the ex-girls basketball coach at Sweet Home where I went, and me and my uncle sat next to him at UB games. So they did something. I said trickeration. He said, "Where'd you go to school?" I was like, because he's like, "You ain't learned that in school." I said, "Well, no, but I heard it. You know, I didn't make this up, but I didn't think who said it." And when you asked it, I was like, I don't know where that came from, but I know I heard it. Right. I know I had it.
I mean, that's something that, you know, defensive-minded people, you know, don't have is the creativity to think of words like trickeration. So you were right.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, a little early show dig right in there.
There you go. Speaking of which, you know, another dig is the fact that if you're a UB fan as well as a Bills fan, they hired the UB offensive coordinator to be Dorsey's assistant. If you know anything about UB's offense,
wait, where did Dorsey go?
Not Dorsey. I'm sorry, Brady.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I missed something.
Yeah, no. Now, if you know anything about UB's offense, it was horrible. It was like one of the worst in the nation. So boring, predictable. They ran a 2-quarterback set all the time, mostly running. Didn't do anything. That's why they were 4-8 or whatever their record was.
Right.
They didn't even beat FCS schools. It was abysmal.
Wow.
Yeah, and the linebacker from East Aurora, Sean Dolak, actually left. And if you're from West Seneca, you go to a hometown school, you do well. Mm-hmm. You're getting the award for the walk-on of the year or whatever in the nation, and you leave. Now, I'm scared for the school. I'm scared for the program, man. I'm scared for the program and what Lindquist is doing over there. But getting back to, you know, the point about the tie-in with UB and the Bills, what is he going to bring? I mean, it's nepotism, yes. I hope he's going to learn something.
Right. And
then, you know, maybe then if he learns Brady's offense, maybe he can be the OC.
Well, so here's what I think this means. If the offensive coordinator gets an assistant, that tells me they're probably going to re-sign him, and they probably have a general idea that he wants to keep the job, and he's going to keep the job at the end of the season. Now, granted, that also depends on how they do, you know, because we still have yet to find out whether or not Sean McDermott is going to be fired or not.
Right.
But you know, if they're hiring staff for the offensive coordinator, I think they've seen enough to feel like, okay, we found the guy that we want to move forward with, and he's willing to stay. So now let's invest.
I mean, I'm behind that 100%. It's almost like the Syracuse coach. I don't know if you saw the interview, but he was talking about how, you know, coaches will come in, and he said, you know, they talk about how they got your back and they're not going to leave, and then next thing you know, in a couple of years, they're out of here, they're gone.
Yeah.
And he said, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not going nowhere. He said, I don't care what happens. You get 10, 11, 12, I'm here. He said, I ain't going nowhere. He said, you see how much they're paying me? Obviously, Syracuse isn't paying what Alabama can pay.
No.
But, you know, and that's a big recruiting tool as well. You know, the stability and knowing that the coach, as long as you're performing, he's not going anywhere. So, you know, I hope that the Bills can turn around. I hope McDermott can continue this on. And I hope that Brady is doing well, and I hope there's another guy somewhere that's hired. You guys get my drift. You know I'm going with this. I hope he's hired over on the defensive side so McDermott can do his job and his job well.
I thought you were going to say a run game coordinator for the offense.
hey, bring it along. Run game, pass game, bring it along. Make it robust. Make it robust.
You don't want Brady to have to do no work other than call plays.
I want Brady to say, you know what? What do you think? Don't like it. What do you think? Nah, we're gonna do this anyway. But but you know,
they gotta want to work for Sean.
Yeah.
I mean, after the report, that's the tough part.
Yeah, that's the buy-in, and I think I put that on the Facebook page. Somebody actually they put something in regards to Stephon Diggs, a trade to Cleveland. I don't know where this has come up.
Yeah,
this is weird. This
article. Did you see what I put on that? Like, this is what I don't get. How in the world are all these people coming up with it literally has to just be for clicks at this point, because it's been made clear, like his cap hit is what it is, his dead cap is what it is. There's no way you can move that contract without it destroying your salary cap.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I mean, I don't know what Greg Thompson's name's not on it. Overdoor's name's not on it. What's that?
Wait, so you said their names are on.
I said they're not on there. Jim Overdorf. If Greg Tom said guys I respect as cap gurus. Yeah, I don't care. I don't even care. No, Tom says, hey, he has some lofty things that he likes to move around and do this, but you got to have amicable guys too. They got to be like, I want to do it. Yeah. And I don't know what he knows, but he's speculating that Deion Dawkins will do this and Stephon Diggs will do that, and this guy will take this pay cut, and so I let Overdorf do his job. He's been doing it almost my whole life. He's been doing it with 37 years with the Bills. So play on, player.
Right.
Play on, player. So no, I think Steph Diggs, if you listen to his press conference, like I said in the comment on our Facebook page, I agree that Steph Diggs probably wants to not be in Buffalo anymore. But I don't think that he's so hell-bent on not being here that he's going to pitch a fit. I don't think he's going to, dip in his productivity. I don't think he's going to do anything in negative to affect our team. Now, of course, why wouldn't you want to play with your brother? Why wouldn't you want to play at a hometown team, Washington, the Commanders? So I get it. I mean, every time we made ourselves who we play for on Madden, the Bills.
Right.
So, I mean, it makes sense.
Well, y'all made me be some other team because you always had the Bills.
I had the Bills. I kick and scream. On college football, I always played for UB. So and that's funny. The thing. So don't take it as a negative when somebody says, I want to do something else. Because up until the last couple of weeks, he's produced in spades for us. Yeah. So it's like, okay, do I care that he wants to be here or do I care that he's producing? That's how I look at it. Right. So as we go on with the show, we'll kind of look at other guys producing and what they could mean in the game on Sunday. But no, I thought that those press. I couldn't read Josh Allen though. I couldn't read. He didn't have the face I wanted from Josh Allen.
What were you looking for?
I was looking. See, I watched Sean McDermott first. Then I flipped over to Diggs because I thought McDermott was going to be longer. I was watching on the way in, and then I flipped to Diggs. It was only 5 minutes as well. And I didn't even listen to Allen. I just want to see what his face looked like. Okay. And I wanted to see, that intense, but the one that has personality. I wanted to see that face, the one that's loose, the one that's going out there, that's going to put it all out there. Because I don't know if you caught it. Did you listen to Diggs' press conference? No. He said that they have a new motto, and I actually kind of liked it. Okay. It was it was something like "Be you for us." So
like FUBU. I mean,
Boo-foo. Boo-foo. No, but it's in my mind, I'm like, is this something that the offense came up with for Josh Allen? Be you for us. And I mean, obviously, it probably doesn't. But with the whole mantra, what the media is saying, what the fans are saying, what even Josh, I gotta be me. Joe Brady said, "Let Josh be Josh." Everybody else is doing their thing. But Josh has these spurts where he kind of goes into this hole of just, I'm trying to be a quarterback and not be Josh. But I thought it was interesting that this week was the first time we heard that when before it was do your 111th and all that other stuff. Right. Now it was be you for us, and I'm like,
that's a big difference.
It is,
especially if that means what it seems like we think it means for Josh. Yeah. For Josh's sake, man, if he can be himself for the team. You have literally just taken any leash, handcuffs, straps, whatever you want to say, off of Josh and say, let's go win a game.
Yeah, I mean, it all rides on him. Yeah. If he's not himself, we lose. Yep. If he gets hurt, we lose. But you got to go down swinging.
No doubt. Listen. Even if that means he throws another pick and it's a 10-game streak.
I don't care.
Still.
Couldn't care less.
Like, Favre 1-1, and I think he was in another one or almost made it to another, something like that. But listen, I think 99% of the people watching this show, 99% of the people that are Bills fans would take one right now. Mm-hmm. After going four in a row, after being one game away, all of that stuff. After being 2 games away, after knowing that you've had a roster that would have won the Super Bowl had you made it, like all of that goes into just give me one. Mm-hmm. I just want to be able to dance out on the street one good time.
And I can't dance, so I'll do it all day long.
Exactly. So I mean, I think this is the game where you'll probably see the team be its most aggressive. You'll see the most aggressive play calls. You'll see a level of just all out, just giving everything they got. Yeah. Like, this is going to be the game that you see that because, this is the game they can afford to lose, right? So why not go down doing every single thing you possibly can? But what this game does for the Bills if they win it, if they win this game, they're now a game and a half or just one game behind the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm. I think they're a game and a half now. So yeah.
Yeah. So the Dolphins are going into play. Who are they playing on Sunday? Let me check this out because
they are playing. It's not the Ravens, is it?
They are playing the Jets.
Jets.
Yeah, the Jets.
Yep, Jets.
Now, the Dolphins can lose to this Jets team.
Mm-hmm.
They can.
Yeah.
Right? Especially the way that Zach Wilson played last week. If he can play like
Hiller's got a high ankle sprain.
Right. Now, they marked him as healthy, but come on, let's be honest. Ankle sprains like that don't go away that fast.
And they lost their center. And they lost their tackle.
Exactly.
So
they got offensive line problems. That defense can rush they behind off. They can get to that QB. Mm-hmm. So, with that being the case, I think the Jets got a great shot. Mm-hmm. Now, it's in Miami. That's still a good thing.
Yeah.
It's still a good thing because now, guess what? You can throw the ball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about no cold weather, no hands shriveling up, or no precipitation or anything like that. I don't think it's supposed to rain in Miami, but all of that is to say, you win this game against the Cowboys. The Dolphins lose one.
Mm-hmm.
You neck and neck now.
Yeah.
And then the Dolphins have to go and well, they're staying at home, but they got the Cowboys coming to their house next week.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So not only do, like in this scenario that I'm dreaming of right now, the Bills are now neck and neck tied with the Dolphins for the division, and we get Easton Stick next week, and they get Dak Prescott and the pissed off Cowboys from the loss they just took from us.
Loss to the Bills. Yeah.
Right. So it is, absolutely the dream scenario. But here's the thing: I think the Bills are probably the how can I say this? The only one of two teams in the league that can probably beat this Cowboys team soundly if they wanted to. Think about what the Cowboys have had all these years. They've had Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, and we beat them. Right? They've had Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, who was great in his first 2 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We still beat them. Mm-hmm. And that's when Zeke Elliott wasn't past his prime all the way. Right. And they had Tony Pollard on that team as a backup. So we've already beat this team with a good number of the players that are on this offense. Now, defensively, I don't think they were as good when we played them and beat them, but we've played the Jets defense twice.
Yeah. And
I think pretty much all year we've seen some pretty good defenses.
I actually had the stat there. They're the 8th ranked defense in terms of, I think it was it yardage against? However, we already played against. Matter of fact, let me pull it because I have it in my notes. Give me 1 second to find it.
Okay, so the defenses we played against this year, right? I'm gonna go through it real quick.
I had it, so I'm gonna. Yeah, once you get out, I'll find it. I actually had the stat on it. Yeah.
Perfect. Yep. So
here it is.
Yep. Jets defense. See. Giants had a good defense. Patriots have a good defense. Bengals have a good defense. I mean, statistically, you can say what you want, but the Bengals have a great defensive coordinator who performs extremely well in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. We've seen it. The Broncos had a good defense. Yeah, we scored 22 on them, but that defense, they shut the Chiefs down. And then the Jets again, Eagles. I mean, we put 34 on them. Their defense was kind of reeling at that point, but that's still, for the players they have as a whole, it's supposed to be a good defense. They're just not playing well right now. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the Chiefs. So we've seen some good defenses this year. It's not like we've been playing cupcake teams like the Cowboys have all year.
No, the number I had was we played Tampa Bay this year, right?
We did.
Yeah, so in blitz percentage, what it was Dallas is 8th in blitz percentage, and we already played 5 of the other 7 ahead of them. So we played the Giants, which is number 2 in blitz percentage. We played Tampa Bay, number 3 in blitz percentage. Didn't play the Steelers, which is number 4, but we played the Patriots, number 5, the Chiefs, number 6, Denver, number 7, and then we'll have Dallas. So that's going to be six of the top 8
right
blitzing teams, and we've come out pretty well.
And not far behind is the Jaguars,
right?
The Commanders. I mean,
The
that's
Chargers
what
after
that's,
that, yeah.
that's
So-
top 15 right there.
Yeah, I mean, you look at, sack percentage. Josh hasn't really been sacked at all. Dak has been sacked more than Josh. I think what is it? I actually had that number as well, but I'm not going to search for it. But if you look at it objectively, you'll see that the Bills defense and the Cowboys defense isn't that much different,
right,
in production. So, for people that say that the Cowboys have this stalwart defense, and I guess the Bills do too, because blitzing wise, we rely on our front four. They rely on their front four and Micah Parsons. Their back four is where they can be gotten because they're going to be a dime heavy team with the advent of the middle linebacker. What's the name? Deron Bland or whatever. He's opportunistic, so he's going to bite on all pump fakes. He's going to bite on double moves. And I actually read an article. You'll laugh at this, but they said Gabe Davis actually might have a good game against him.
Oh my god!
Oh
my god!
They said he may have a good game. So
against who? Stephon Gilmore?
No, Bland, because they think Gilmore is going to be on Diggs.
Gilmore can't check Diggs anymore.
I know that, but that's who's going to be on there. Bland can't check Diggs.
Well, it's very few people in the league. That would be silly. That would be if they don't play zone coverage against this team. And really, here's the thing too. Every team this year we've seen when they play zone against Josh, the offense gets slowed down a lot, right? The offense as a whole is not really built to take advantage or to beat zone coverages. The route concepts that are in this offense right now is just like Brady's done a great job at making adjustments to make it work against whatever we see.
Right.
But what we do as an offense destroys man coverage.
Yeah, and they're the highest rate of man coverage in the league.
With it,
47%.
You just add to the reasons that we're supposed to beat this team.
Yeah, 47% man coverage defense. So,
man.
It's
over.
Yeah, you got Kincaid. I know I don't want to start a tiff, but you got Knox, you got Kincaid, you got not Sherfield. Well, actually Sherfield too. Shakir.
Yeah.
And Davis. Even though we really haven't seen it, Davis does have a propensity for going off in games you don't expect him to. So
That's true.
I could see it, and if he can run a double route or something like that or double move, Bland is going to be out there looking silly because they said that he gets beat a lot. But the problem is the front four gets to the quarterback in a fashion where he doesn't have enough time to set up the play.
Right.
Well, Josh is used to playing behind bad lines, used to playing where he has to be scrambling, so it's going to be at home for him.
Well, here's how you answer that. What are their stats against the run? They're a great run defense.
They haven't been tested, but they average 4.1 against the run. But they give up the most. What did I say? They gave up.
Matter of fact,
as well.
The Cardinals game. Cardinals ran all over
them.
them.
They ran all over them. But they're sixth in the league in allowing the sixth most quarterback rushing yards.
Ooh.
So they
don't rush with discipline.
Right. So Josh will go right past him.
Boy.
And that's the thing.
This is looking so good right now.
That's the thing. Like, it can be had.
Yeah.
It can be had. I ran down. You look at numbers, I said for all the pomp and circumstance surrounding their defense, they're about average in pressure percentage at 21.8%. To contrast that, Kansas City, who we just played, is at 28.9%, and the Bills are at 25%. So Kansas City actually has a better pressure rate than the Chiefs do.
And we beat the Chiefs. So
we have more pressure than Dallas does.
Right. And that to me is crazy how we got more pressure than them. But here's why I mentioned, or here's why I asked, what the Cowboys were against the run. You should be able to just turn it off and turn it back on again. What happened? What is it, a battery? All right,
it's all good.
That's fine. So we had a third shot.
You saw it briefly.
Died.
You got a preview. You're going to see that in future episodes.
So
we didn't want to give you too much.
We actually had a dummy battery. I should have put the dummy battery in.
We didn't want to give him too much. We just want to give him a taste.
Okay. Take
just
that.
enough to say, oh boy,
take that and come back. But yeah, so the reason I asked about the Cowboys' run defense is because if you really want to take advantage or give your quarterback time to hit that double move on the corner, you need play action. That takes care of all of that. On top of the fact that their linebackers are not that great. So guess what? They're probably going to bite.
Yeah.
And that's all we need.
They got one linebacker, and that's going to be the guy that's going to be rushing the quarterback.
Right.
I mean, obviously they have more than one linebacker, but one that you got to worry about.
That's right. That's
Micah Parsons is somebody you want to worry about. The sidebar: I didn't know Khalil Mack led the league in sacks.
For real?
Yeah, he's got 16 or 15 and a half.
Dang.
Right. Go UB, horns up.
Yeah, really.
Horns up. But yeah, no, I didn't know that. But let's see, for your run defense, where are we at? Yards per attempt. The Bills are the third worst against the run, and Dallas is 13th. They give up 106 yards per game on the ground.
So what does their run game look like? Like, how good are they running the ball? As far as I heard, I do remember hearing they've been struggling heavily trying to run the ball this year.
It's feast or famine. Because they have, what's the guy, the wide receiver, the slot receiver that they have. His name escapes me, but as soon as I see it, I will know it. Turpin. They like jet sweeps with Turpin. They like to run both routes. They like to get him out, on the run with the ball in his hands, and he's fast, so he can hit that corner and get there.
PFS superstar rated Tyrell Dodson will probably take care of that.
That's right, Tyrell Dodson.
It makes me so mad. Why do they love this kid so much?
I don't know, but you know what? Sidebar, I didn't even look at it.
You gonna go to it?
I want to see what he's where they rate him now.
It's unbelievable.
At linebackers, where do they rate him? And that's I mean, it is. It's uncanny.
So while you look that up, let me see here. I want to look at the last time. What?
He's still number 2. the second rated linebacker behind Fred Warner.
Against the run?
No, just the number 2 ranked linebacker.
Overall? Yeah. How?
I don't know. Let's see. That's not gonna do it. I'm trying to sort it out so I can.
This is unbelievable. This kid is better than Demario Davis.
Yep.
He's better than Roquan Smith.
Yep.
He's better than your boy C.J. Mosley.
Yep. Bobby
Okereke,
whatever. Yeah.
Quincy Williams.
Yeah.
Bobby Wagner, Oluokun.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
He is doing his thing. I mean, and you're looking at, let's see, how many snaps does he have now? He has 400. So he would actually, I like to sort it out by 20% of the most. So he would actually make the cut still. So he would still be number 2.
Wow.
I don't look at his coverage stat. They got him at 82.7.
I need an explanation. Maybe
McDermott knows how to use him. That's why he likes T-Dot. Sometimes, you know what, I will be without joke. Sometimes you just have to have the right coach that has the right scheme, that has the right situation for you, and this stuff happens. I don't know what his stats are in terms of tackles and all that good stuff.
I'll look that up real quick.
Just the fact that your face was twisted up in a knot because of
yo. Let me see.
I actually have it.
So he's got 55 combined tackles. He's got 12 assisted. He's got 1 sack.
Yeah, 1 forced fumble. Yeah. So I mean, they got him listed. They got him at 90 overall. This is Pro Football Focus. 90 overall, 85.5 run defense, 78.5 pass rush, and 82.7 coverage.
I mean, by these metrics, he's a star.
By these metrics, he's doing his thing.
Or 90 is superstar.
90 is elite. 90 is elite. Yeah, see, things like this, they derail me real easily because now I got to see where's Terrell Bernard. I just get derailed so easily. Yeah, look at this. They got Bernard at 67.5. Yeah, they got him backwards. They got them all backwards. Bernard, they got Bernard.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if they come out and say, "Hey, sorry guys, we had the two switched up. My bad."
And the funny thing is, you're the only one. Well, you're not the only one that questioned it, but you're the only one that has done it on the show so far. How? Yeah, they got Terrell Bernard as below average in coverage. Pass rush is pretty good. Run defense is okay. Overall, is just above average.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Never in a million years did I ever think.
I know. He has 112 tackles, 3 sacks, 3 interceptions, and 2 fumbles forced, and he's a 67.5. He's like 6th in the league in tackles right now. Whatever. T-Dot. You know what it was? They changed to 25. That did it for him.
So taking a non-traditional linebacker number is what did it.
They thought he was what's the guy's name?
Why didn't that work for Tremaine?
It's too long.
It's too long.
He's too long. Tremaine was way too long.
So you got to be a bowling ball.
You got to be small and fiery.
Right.
But
right.
I mean, whatever. If it's working, I'm not gonna say much about it. It's working. We haven't see. This is the thing too. This is the fly in the face of the people that say all these injuries and prove positive. Milano's out. What's this guy doing? His backup.
Yep.
Prove positive. I mean, come on now.
Yeah,
Christian Benford.
Injuries, if you build your team the right way, injuries should not impact you that heavily. You should never be top heavy.
And you gotta be flexible.
That's right.
You change up. You're not as aggressive, and it's the reason why. And nobody's gonna say anything to you when you got this. They're not playing. They're playing the Frazier defense. We'll say why? Because we have second and third stringers on the field. You don't rush the passer with Kingsley Jonathan. Kingsley Jonathan and Ilianku.
Right.
You gotta back off a little bit and give a little bit more because you know that ball's coming out, and you gotta look at who you're playing too. And that's the thing that when you see a Terrell Bernard playing, you see not Bernard, when you see Dotson playing, when you see Benford and Josh Normans and Cam Lewis and slots and things like that, you would expect people to kind of take a back seat or slow down a little bit, try to play try to be bend but don't break because you don't want to give a big plays because they're going to do it. They're just not used to the situations.
Right. You
got 2 of the oldest safeties in the league. Slow down a little bit.
Right.
Right. Just slow down just a tad.
You
just
can't
a little
stress
bit.
them guys out no more, man.
And
you can't do it.
I mean, furthermore, Hyatt is out. What does that say for our boy Khair? Well, if
I mean, is he still on IR?
No. His 21-day window was open last week. They activated his 21-day window. So if they don't put him on if they don't put him on the 53 or whatever, however it goes, he's got to go on IR for the rest of the season. So he has 2 more weeks, give or take. But you got injuries at cornerback.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta do something. You can't. See, that's tough because, like, deep down, I feel like they want to just leave him off.
Oh, they do.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the way they've treated him is like they don't even want him in the building, but they can't figure out how to get rid of him.
And I mean, is it Mandela effect or wasn't Saran Neal once a safety on this team?
Who?
Saran Neal. Wasn't he once a safety?
Yeah, he was.
So why is everybody like he can't play safety? Like he has never sniffed safety again.
But he was terrible at safety.
Was he worse than Cam Lewis? And that's not a slight on Cam Lewis, but he's never played a position before.
Yeah, actually, I think he was worse. So Cam Lewis would be better. Cam Lewis would be a better cover guy than Saran Neal at safety. But I think against the run, Saran Neal was kind of like that box safety.
He's like that. What was that Brian Scott that we had a long time ago? Yeah. So
I hated Brian Scott. I couldn't stand. I guess I didn't
hate
hate
because
Brian
he was
Scott.
linebacker / safety / What is
this
guy?
Yo, he's not fast enough to cover nobody, dude. Why do we have him on this team? I hated it.
I actually liked him.
I know you did. That's what made it worse for me. Like, yo, why do you love this guy? Why?
For some reason, we don't talk, but you hate a guy and I like him. It's like it always happens this way
all the time.
And we don't even do this. It's not like we're digging on each other. It's just like, yo, that's my guy. You like him? No, he sucks. What? How? I thought we had something this time. I thought we were on one accord this time.
Is there a player that we both like?
It's got to be somebody. like a style. I mean, obviously we both like Diggs. I think we both like Josh. But like the the higher hanging fruit, I don't know.
I mean, I like Cook. I like Kincaid.
Well, yeah. See, to me, Cook is like that second branch from the bottom. If I jump and reach, I can get Cook.
Okay.
Josh, I can just reach him and snatch him off the tree.
Right.
But
so,
I think like if we're looking at, I think I'm coming around to Rasul Douglas.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
He got victimized by Kelsey, but that's to be expected.
Yeah. Anybody 1-on-1 with Kelsey is gonna struggle. But I think for me, I think it's Benford. Benford is probably for me the 50-50 player. You know what I mean?
Like I really like Benford.
You do?
I really like Benford.
I think I would like him better at safety.
Maybe he'll be a safety. But Kyrie will still not be a cornerback.
Huh?
I said maybe he will be, but Kyrie will still not be a cornerback.
And I'll probably die a little bit inside.
It's hurting me too, man.
Yeah, I mean that much speed and athleticism and size. I just don't understand how you just you decide I can't use that.
And he's physical,
right? Like I've never heard of a team wanting to tone down the physicality of a corner,
especially when it's not Gilmore. Remember, Gilmore used to be hella handsy.
Yeah,
he used to get pass interferences all the time.
So what? Go out there and play.
But Kyrie doesn't though. He doesn't get the interference. He's out there playing. But I think what it is they like to run the zone. They like to run that soft zone. See, that's proof positive as well. That cornerback still bails. Kyrie can't bail. We've seen him do it, and he gets beat every time.
Yep. He's
got to be on the guy. He's gonna. I would like to see Kyrie Elam actually work out with like a Jabari Greer. That's who I would like to see him work out with, because Jabari Greer was that low-level entry cornerback into the league, but he was a guy that would stick to you like glue.
Right.
He was in your pocket at all times, and he, until he broke his leg, Jabari Greer was that guy. So he made a hell of a name for himself. And I'd love to see. I have a hard time giving up on the young guys when they want to do it. They got into the level. Kyrie, unless I'm not seeing something in the locker room, which that never happens in the Bills organization, but he seems like the kind of guy that wants it, and his want might exceed his ability. But I think that he still has something in the tank where they can use him.
Right.
I mean, we've seen guys come and go in this place, and they've been awful. Even whatever position, but they've gotten use. I mean, Spencer Brown, he's not awful, but they insulate him.
Right.
When you have, that tells me when you have Micah Hyde or Jordan Poyer or whoever is back there, help them. Not instruction wise, but that's your bracket, that's your whatever. Especially when you're a cornerback starved team. Last year we carried 5 cornerbacks at a time. Yep. And we were injury ridden with nowhere to turn. So now you're calling up Jamarcus Ingram, which was he's solid. You got.
I love his size.
I know you do. Was he 6'2"?
6'2". Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Swallow receivers up.
I'm about to go. I want to play Madden with you again. Kay, I want to play Madden with A again, and I'm going to get all midgets. All munchkins.
No.
All munchkins.
That would probably be the only way that I can play Madden, because you know what she said to me? She goes, why would you start playing Madden just a little bit? Like that's like an alcoholic saying, I want to take a drink. Just
that's not
like, wait a second, it's not like that at all.
I'm not confirming or denying my alcohol tendencies, but I can tell you one drink ain't gonna do it. Ain't gonna do it.
Don't help her argument. You're not helping me.
I'm trying to help you.
How? Because
you can doing it for show. It's research purposes. We got to get in the lab, research. What are the odds and ends? Who can do what? Nah, but
that's funny.
But no, I honestly think if you look at the way they want to construct the team, obviously they talk about winning with young core team players. Mm-hmm. But I think you have to prove to McDermott that it can be done. I think you have to prove to McDermott that you can rely on, because case in point, I think we talked about it. My Nuggets, Malone never plays young players, never, and we always went to the playoffs. We always got decent, but we got bounced. Last year, Christian Braun, our number 1 overall draft pick, he got burned. What happened? Malone went against his whole philosophy, and we won a championship. We won it. We had Zeke Naji, who never really played, who put in minutes. We had Peyton Watson, who was on the G League team, who came up and played, got minutes, and we won a championship. It's completely against his philosophy. Everybody knew it. He almost got fired behind the fact that he won't play young players, and it was known.
Wow.
So McDermott, leave Granado alone for a while and go talk to Mike Malone.
Yeah.
Go talk. And that goes into your defensive philosophy, your defensive minded philosophy. And I'm going to use that. I want to stress the word minded because, once again, I do believe that a defensive guy can win, but you have to have that mind that's different than the traditional defensive guy.
Yeah, it's like if a defensive guy becomes a head coach, it has to be a situation where he leaves the defensive mindset behind and adopts the head coach mindset.
Yes.
You have to come from the perspective of, I'm just going to manage the team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to manage the personalities. I'm going to manage the people. If you can do that, then you can become a Mike Tomlin who has had double-digit wins every single
year.
season. You know what I'm saying? And not that I would take that in lieu of making the playoffs every year or something like that, but, I mean, he's got a championship already.
But that's the thing. I was going to say Mike Tomlin is the kind of guy that they make the playoffs every year, double digits every year. Obviously they have Roethlisberger, but we have Josh.
Right.
And they won a championship.
Yep.
I don't know how many. I don't even know who their offensive coordinators were. But they won, and they're perennial powers.
Right.
So I would take that. Give me one championship every 7-8 years or whatever.
Yeah.
You got a home in Buffalo.
Right.
But the thing is, you got a guy who up until this point was so resolute in what he was thinking and what he was doing. Nothing was going to change his mind. I truly believe that his locker room was not what he thought it was.
How do you mean that?
The close knit, the culture.
Oh yeah.
I think really believe that was an eye opener for him. Whether he wants to admit it or not, he's like, man, maybe he doesn't want to change, but at least now he's armed with the knowledge. And Pagula can call him out in that what do you call it, the end of season interview, the exit interview.
Right.
And almost say, what did we learn?
Right, and that's kind of where I was going. Like, what did you think was going to happen when you started applying that much pressure on people to be the exact way you wanted them to be?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, where did I say this? To some degree, somewhere I said, he wants this team to be toy soldiers that he can just, adjust their position or adjust their stance and set them somewhere. And all right, perfect. Now just take a snapshot of that and we can win every game. Mm-hmm. Like, when you do that kind of stuff, even like, I'll put it like this: if you're going to do something like that, if you're going to take a military style, approach where everybody's got to have the same mindset, everybody's got to, act as one and all that kind of stuff, then you have to be able to take them through a boot camp style entry into that kind of program.
Yeah,
like
Tom
that's
Coughlin.
Exactly. That's the reason they have boot camp, is to break people away from their own mindset and indoctrinate them into a singular mindset. Mm-hmm. But you can't do that with grown men in the NFL. These guys, these are the head of their households. They have families, they have children, they have people they take care of outside of their families. They have organizations that look to them for advice or assistance or decision making or whatever. Like, you are, when you're a head coach of an NFL team, you're essentially a CEO of an enterprise. Mm-hmm. Right? Because it's not just one bit. Like, you have a team full of 52, 53 potential brands that you are managing. And as the CEO of that enterprise, you can damage or you can improve the image of those brands, right? Mm-hmm. Now, each one of these brands wants to be the best brand in the world, right? And they're all going to want to be number one to some degree within their perspective, niche, their position, right? And like, to me, a guy coming from offense or defense, if he can come into the position and understand that first, I think we got a good shot. Yeah. After that, I need somebody who can, like, that's the perfect head coach build. Is a guy who understands that business aspect first of managing people, managing emotions, managing personalities. And then right below that is the ability to put people in the right positions and motivate them.
I was gonna say he got to be empowering.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, after that, then if you got some X's and O's expertise or something like that, or if you're a creative person, I think that's number 3 on the list. You got to be creative. You know, that to me, that's the top 3 characteristics of my perfect head coach.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's I agree 100%. I think we after, well, how many shows is this now? 40?
40. No, I think we had 44 up on YouTube. So this like 45, 46.
Okay, so we have 40. Okay, we'll say 44 shows. We finally came to agreement on the head coach in the 45th show.
It took a while.
It took a long time, but it made for good conversation.
No doubt.
It made for good conversation. Now, going back to Dallas as a team, Deron Bland leads the league in 9 offensive touchdowns with 5. Mm-hmm. Brandon Aubrey, their kicker, is number 1 in the league with 129 points. Dak Prescott leads the league in touchdowns at 28. Josh is third.
Passing touchdowns.
Passing touchdowns. Yeah. Josh is third behind Tua.
Yeah, I was going to say Josh got total touchdowns.
Total touchdown, yeah, but nobody's running like him. Let's see. Dak has been sacked 29 times to Josh is 18. That's the stat I was looking for.
Ooh.
Fresh meat.
Yeah.
Fresh meat.
I mean, Dak has never really been a scrambler anyway.
This year he tried because he has no choice.
That's true. That's true.
He leads the league in QBR as well for guys that really understand or care about QBR, 79.6. I don't know if that's good or bad, but he's the leader of the league, so it's got to be good, I guess, right?
QBR is a deceptive stat.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like it.
I don't even know what it is. I mean, I know it's quarterback rating, but I don't know what goes. It's like completions plus.
Yeah, it's completions, attempts, interceptions.
Right, touchdowns and
touchdowns, right.
So, yeah, that's like, the perfect score. I don't care about perfect scores. I just want to win the game. That's all I care about. What else did I have? On defense, I mean, they have DeMarcus Lawrence. They have – actually, no. Hankins is out. They had a rookie playing at D tackle from Michigan. I forget his name. Let me look it up. It would be Mozzie Smith.
Oh, okay.
Their number 1 overall draft pick.
He's actually pretty good though, from what I heard.
No, he's good. He's good. He's a real. He was somebody he was actually mocked in a couple of times to us, and just for guys that want to. Know where we stand in the mock draft. We're still taking Keon Coleman from Florida State, the wide receiver, 6'4", 215 pounds. So, if you guys want to take a look at who this guy is, look at the Florida State bowl game when they. Actually, no, they're not going to a bowl. Watch an old game of Florida State's. Just do that.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm lying. They are going to a bowl. They're not going to the playoffs. They missed out. That was the big controversy, where they were undefeated. And they still missed out when there were 2 teams that lost the game. But because who they play, that's why college football rankings and stuff, you got to take it for what it is. You know, either you're going to hate it or love it, depending on where your team falls. My team, they're bad, so I don't really care. They're like 428 out of 428 UB. I'm talking to you. They're down there. But if you're looking at the offensive line ratings, I think they are the 3rd. Actually, you know what? I have that as well. They are up there in. I have to look that up.
You are a one-man stat team.
I know. No, what I want to get to is you have to be concise. They are going to be on your butt in third downs. They're number 1 in the league in third down conversions. But where they fall short and where we can kick their butts is in the red zone. They're 15%. They're 15th in the league in offensive conversions in the red zone, and they are 22nd in the league in the defense on the defensive side. So we get in that red zone.
Yeah.
We can tear their hides up, as you like to say.
Right. That's what happens when you're a man-first team and you don't really play a lot of zone and you don't have good linebackers that can play coverage.
Right.
You're gonna suffer in that area of the field.
So I mean, it's there for the taking. It's there, and I can't wait to see. You know, I'm not getting presumptuous with saying we're gonna take them to the woodshed, because I do respect the team, but I don't like them. I never liked Dallas.
Nothing but disrespect over here for the Cowboys. I'm saying we gonna win this game. We better win this game. There's no reason we can't win this game. Dak and the boys suck away from Dallas.
Yeah.
We win in this game.
Yeah, what are they? They're undefeated at home, but they have a is it losing or even? Is it 3-3?
It's losing. It's
losing?
like 2 and something. Or they haven't won a lot. Hold on, let me go back to the schedule here.
I'm gonna say their offensive line. While you're looking at offensive line is ranked 3rd in the league, and the Bills are ranked 9th right now. So if you're looking at what you should expect, their offensive line has not seen what we can produce. They haven't seen it in droves like we've seen it. Our guys are get hungry if they're put in the right position. Epinesa being out, that's fine. I mean, because Von Miller, I expect him to take another step this week. You know, I'm not going to say he's going to get a sack. I'm not going to say he'd be that disruptive, but he's going to be a body out there that you should watch out for, I think. But, you know, on their side, I think that we really need to watch out for, obviously, Micah Parsons, because he's going to be all over the place. They line him up in any advantageous slot. So, Spencer Brown, you might call your buddy Dawson Knox and say, hey, man, what are we going to do against this guy? Because I'm thinking dollars to donuts. Micah Parsons is going to try his hardest to take advantage of Spencer Brown.
Right.
You know, now you'll like this, but Pro Football Focus has Deion Dawkins slated as our best offensive lineman last week out of the 5. So be that as it may, whatever. I didn't think it was a particularly strong showing for him last week.
Yeah, I mean, none of the blitzes that I saw from the Chiefs came on that side.
Right.
They all attacked Spencer Brown's side.
Yeah, so they have him ranked the 8th overall offensive lineman, I believe, in the last 5 weeks. Mm-hmm. I believe it might be the whole season. I'm not sure. I mean, that is what it is. But you know, I think Spencer Brown will benefit from having Knox back. I think Knox will show you why he does belong on the field. I think Greg Cosell, which a lot of people respect. Not saying I don't, but you respect him more than you respect me. So I will just say Greg Cosell said that having Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox on the field at the same time is deadly. You know,
really?
Yeah. He said
I gotta go
deadly.
back and watch that.
Yeah. So I mean, I think.
Wait, that's if you use them the right way.
The 12 personnel as they used it last week can be very effective. I think, you know, we have to figure out a way to get Josh used to looking in different spots. We got to get rid of that bubble screen of Diggs. That's got to go.
Yes.
You know, because I mean, let's face it, Diggs has never been that guy in space. He's not Deebo Samuel. He's not, you know, what everybody thought Hardy was. He's not. You know, James. If you put James Cook over there, you could try it with him if you want to. Mm-hmm. But yeah, let's get rid of it. I think James Cook this week is going to go crazy if you use him, and not in the running game so much as the passing game, because there's going to be a lot of space for him to find, and a lot of space for him to sit down, and a lot of space for him to get busy on once he catches the ball. I did do an exercise. If you guys are interested, I wanted to, in fun, compare James Cook to Thurman Thomas. I just did. James Cook. I did Thurman Thomas, Fred Jackson, Travis Henry, Marshawn Lynch, and C.J. Spiller. Do you know of any other running backs were I mean, I could have did Antoine Smith. I could have did that, but I was only 6 slots, and these are like the best 6 I could think of. And I did the first 2 years just to keep it even.
Okay.
Obviously, Thurman Thomas, he had the most starts out of all of them at 31. Or he played the most games, I'm sorry, at 31. C.J. Spiller with 30, believe it or not.
Wow.
James Cook and Travis Henry were the third spot, tied at 29. Obviously, James Cook actually, he has the highest yards per carry, I'm sorry. Travis Henry had the most rushing attempts and the most yards and the most touchdowns. C.J. Spiller was just there. Fred Jackson, our beloved Fred Jackson, didn't beat the other 5 in any category, but Thurman Thomas has
he beat them in leadership.
Yeah, that's it. He was also the oldest when he came on the team. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Thurman Thomas was already indoctrinated into a team with leaders, Jim Kelly and the others. He had 78 receptions for 87 yards, 11.2 yards per reception, and 6 touchdowns. Now, what you need to find interesting about that is we have 4 games left. If you go on James Cook's current trajectory, he's going to beat Thurman Thomas in receptions. He could beat Thurman Thomas in reception touchdowns. He has 4 to Thurman Thomas's 6, obviously with 4 games still to go. Yards-wise, you're looking at a 300-yard disparity, so that is attainable in 4 games if you really want to look at it. But I think if you look at Thurman Thomas, he ran the ball 505 times in his first 2 seasons to James Cook's 252. So obviously, no shade towards James Cook, but he's not going to catch him in yardage unless he gets somehow 900 yards in the last 4 games. So I think that's a safe no. But I think James Cook is safe to say right now, showing you the reason why I did this honestly was to show that he might be, as everybody says, Sean McDermott is the best coach since Marv Levy. Josh Allen is the best quarterback since Jim Kelly, the best quarterback, period. James Cook could be the second best running back since Thurman Thomas. And Thurman Thomas is a Hall of Famer. So, and these are, obviously beast mode in his first 2 years.
Yeah, I see that's what makes it tough for me because, and maybe this just has to do with my perception on running backs. I mean, to say that James Cook could potentially be the second best running back we've had since Thurman Thomas, man, I don't know if I could say that. I mean, prime beast mode.
Not on trajectory. James Cook would beat him, but you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But this is for
the first 2 years for everybody.
Yeah, this is for So I mean, I don't know. I have to. I kind of think about it like this. I don't have to, but I think about it like this. Even if we're following the trajectory, let's say the Bills never traded Marshawn Lynch, or we could do this. We could say, well, I don't know if it's right to do it this way, but to just compile Marshawn Lynch's statistics overall, right, that he's had everywhere that he's been, and say those stats are who Marshawn Lynch is, right? Regardless of anything else, we'll just say those stats all happen in a vacuum, right? Mm-hmm. And
all right, let's do it. So, okay, I mean, we're not done with the Dallas game, but let's do it.
Okay.
How do you want to do? You want to do his full career, or how you?
Yeah, let's just do Marshawn Lynch's full career, and we can extrapolate Cook's projected stats based on what his averages are now. I don't know if they're going to give you. They're going to give you Lynch's averages? Yeah. Yeah, they do.
So, okay. So how do you want to do this? Okay, so he played, like Marshawn Lynch played for, what is this, part of, well, what did he play? How many years did he play? Because
he played from 2007 to 2019. So
he retired, though. He left for, what, 2 years, a year?
No, one. He was gone for 1 year.
1 year?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say 11 years he played.
Yep,
all right.
So he played for 11 years. He played in 149 games, but he started 135.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. He had 2,453 attempts for 10,413 yards.
Mm-hmm.
His yard per carry average was 4.2. 85 touchdowns. Let's see, 287 receptions for 2,214 receiving yards. His yards per reception was 7.7. Cooks is already above that at 9.7. He had, is that receiving touchdowns there?
Were we this year? Yeah, receiving touchdowns.
Marshawn Lynch had 9 for his career. James Cook is already at 4. Yards per target for Marshawn Lynch is 5.7. James Cook is already above that at 7.5. James Cook already has a better catch percentage than Marshawn Lynch's career catch percentage. Yeah, I mean, okay. So let's say those are James Cook's stats for 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's take that and we'll multiply it if my phone will cooperate for a second. Wow, I don't understand why my phone is acting so slow right now. All right, so we have James Cook has 252 rushing attempts. So we'll say 252 times, you want to go, well, that's 2. That's for 2 years. So let's bump that down in half, 252. So we'll just say on average 126, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's times 11. So his attempts will be so he'll have 1,386 attempts. Okay. And his yardage, 1,296 times 11. So he'll end up with 7,128 total rushing yards.
Whoa. Oh, yeah, you took it in half. That's right. That's
Yep.
right. Yep.
Yards per carry average, 5.1. I mean, does it say what his yards per carry average was the previous year? I don't know if you want to divide that yards per carry average in half.
Well, he was at 5.8 last year. It's
so
down this
went
year.
Down a little bit. So
because he got more carries this year.
Right.
So I mean, I could pull per game.
No, we don't need to go that far.
You don't want to go down a rabbit hole? Okay.
Yeah,
James Cook, you won. No, I'm joking.
I know. I just thought about it. I'm like, ooh, I don't know if that's going to be good for ending on time. We got like 15 mintes.
No, I mean, that's fine. But
So yeah. So I mean, I guess if we're comparing the numbers, I mean, just let's just rushing yards off the bat. James Cook is going to end up with less rushing yards than Marshawn Lynch had for his career. I
think total yards he ended up with more though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just the yards per catch average already being at 9.7, the target percentage. The yards per target average being 2 points higher already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. He would have been a more effective all around back, and like you said, more total yardage. Along with and see, that's the thing too, for Thurm's numbers to be where they are in the first 2 years, and he played in an era where the running back was the heart of the offense. Yeah, he was the offense, right? And Cook is playing in an era where running backs
he's playing in an era where running backs are next to nothing, and he's playing with Josh Allen.
Exactly. And
Latavius Murray.
Right. So
and
he's not the focal point of this offense. This almost feels like an unfair comparison just because every other running back on this team at some point was the focal point.
Mm-hmm.
But I think still for the production that he's had and for the impact that he can have, especially in this game, so I want to get to what I put in the description really quick. We can move on from this, but
so I put. He want to move on. He don't like my point. We can move on from this. No, I'm joking.
Set me up. Setting me up. No, see, now you're destroying stuff. You mad? You flipping stuff all around. That was already broke. Don't worry about that.
Okay, we're still on. Y'all can hear me. Okay. Thumbs up in the comment if you can still hear me.
Right. Just hello. Okay, we're good. So I put in the description there's one thing that the Bills have that the Cowboys have not seen all year, and that is Josh freaking Allen.
I was going to say that, but I was like, that can't be the answer, so I'm going to leave it quiet.
It is as simple as that.
Yeah.
They haven't seen a quarterback that did they play the Chiefs?
It's a different guy anyway. It's a different guy. Even if they did, it's a different guy.
Right.
They're not the same.
Different guy, different offense. Like Josh Allen has the ability to be an entire offense all by himself. I don't think I've seen Mahomes be able to do that to that degree.
Did y'all watch the Kansas City game?
Yeah, 100%. Josh was the entire offense for that game.
And did y'all watch the Philly game?
Yep. And so everything that we've kind of pointed out now leans into and kind of supports us being able to say this is a Josh Allen game. Mm-hmm. This is a coming out party for I feel like I'm my freaking self all over again. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Even after the offensive woes of last week, this looks like a dominant Josh Allen game with his ability to scramble out of the pocket, make plays, make things happen against a defense that, I mean, let's face it, they're going to have their backs turned to Josh most of the game. And if they don't, they're going to get destroyed because they don't play zone coverage.
Look what I put in my notes. Just the kind of game, just the kind of defense Josh could get off on.
Right.
I mean, I said earlier, I didn't say it in the show, but I was going to say it, and you took like they say on GR, you stole my thunder.
Yes.
I'm okay with it. It had to be said.
But yeah, like I just, to me, that's the one thing this Cowboys team has not seen. Like, let's be real. It's not about a scrambling quarterback. It's not even about a strong arm quarterback because they played Justin Herbert and they played Hurts twice. Mm-hmm. Yep. Right? Yep. So they but again, Hurts doesn't have the arm that Josh does, and Herbert doesn't have the scrambling ability that Josh does. Mm-hmm. Josh is a freaking unicorn. Yep. And I'm telling you, in this game on Sunday, we are going to see a dominant performance from Josh. We're going to see a dominant performance from the Bills offense, period. I like knowing what I know about this Cowboys team and how they play away from Dallas and knowing what's on the line for this team. And then on top of that, seeing what we just brought out at the beginning of this episode, how, Sean and the team they're loose. They seem to be just, taking it all in stride now. And like, this is that kumbaya moment. Yeah. This is the moment where it all comes together and it all clicks and they just go out there and just give it to the Cowboys early.
And this is honestly, all the bashing and all that stuff we did on the show that prompted the all true no sodium takes that you came up with. Yeah. This is what we wanted. Whether it's to stay or not, this is what we were envisioning when we actually started the show. Yeah. This is the moment. So when I saw it, and I won't say McBeanhead anymore because he didn't have a hat on, and that's the most negative thing I'm going to say about Sean today. Okay. You got to put that hat back on, brother. You got to.
It's a little large.
He's got a lot of thinking up here. Yeah. But oh man. But yeah, I mean this was the moment that needed to happen to come to this expose. And it wasn't in a situation where it was something like Donald Sterling or the guy from the Washington Commanders, the owner over there. It wasn't that kind of expose. It was just you got to do better. Yeah. Everything you talking about, you ain't doing. Now we know.
Right. Let me apologize real quick. Locked Rain, I apologize. She commented Diggs gets 100+ yards in this game. You taking it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. If they play in man coverage, it's over. Sorry it took me so long to get to it.
It's all right. And guess what, guys? That's not a super chat. Just type stuff and we'll answer it. Trust me.
No doubt. Okay, so before we get out of here, what is the score to the game?
Ooh.
He got the Mr. Burns fingers going.
Excellent. Right. Excellent. Let's see.
Based on what you see,
they're averaging only allowing 18 points a game. They're averaging 32 points a game. They're first in scoring.
They playing cupcake teams. I can't even take that.
No. I'm just saying they're averaging first in scoring. I just want to see what the barometer was. So I will say, nothing to lose. Bills come out firing. I will say it's gonna be a barn burner. I'll say 28-24 Bills.
28-24?
28-24 Bills.
Ooh. All right. 28-24. 28-24. Man, I don't know if it's going to get that far. I don't know if it's going to. Yeah, I think this is going to be. I think we're looking at like a 24-17 type of game, like a dominant defensive performance where Dak just ain't got nobody to throw to, and the pressure is getting there, and they try to run the ball, but they can't. I really see this being a dominant win for the Bills. I think this is going to be that game that puts people on notice of, the Bills are back. They figured it out. They beat the best, I want to say the best team in the league, because to me that's the 49ers, but the best playing and performing team currently in the NFL and the Cowboys. And I think all of it is going to be righteous because the Cowboys had this coming. They had it coming. Mm-hmm. They're 3-3 on the road, and they've played a bunch of cupcake teams. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, your biggest division rival that you beat once because they're missing their offensive and defensive coordinator from the year before, and they're still trying to figure out who they are after all that. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, you lost to them. You should have beat them both times. Period. No excuse. Yeah. Right? And then you go up against the team that kicked you out of the playoffs like it was nothing in the 49ers. And listen, they got you in the gut. Yeah. All up in the gut with the butter knife junior.
The butter knife. That was funny.
They got you good, so to me, this is a very puffed up Cowboys team that I think nationally.
He said puffed. Puffed up. Yeah, puffed up. Mom, Ken, puffed.
Right. This is a puffed up team that nationally has gotten a lot of credit because they have to at 10-3. For them to have the record that they have, and for them to be beating these bad teams the way that they have, you kind of don't have a choice but to give them, credit and say that they're a good team. But they haven't beaten anybody. They haven't beaten anybody. No. Like we can go like their wins. Like who have they played besides the 49ers and the Giants and the Eagles?
Their wins are
they got
the Giants, the Jets, the Patriots, the Chargers, the Rams, the Giants again, the Panthers, the Commanders, Seattle, and Philly.
I mean, does anybody think the Seattle Seahawks are a good to great team this year? Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. Does anybody think that the Rams are this, great team this year? No. They largely at the beginning of the season they were bad, and they just now started to come on. Yeah. So when you played them, they weren't even good. Mm-hmm. As far as the Seahawks, everybody's talking about how Geno Smith is not the same quarterback he was this year as compared to last year. So everybody that you've played to this point has not been great. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't have a right to say that, the Bills are that much better because we're coming in as a 7-6 team. But at the same time, we've had a lot of internal issues that we had to work out, right? We've always had the team, but the internal stuff, we had to get the soul right. Mm-hmm. Now the soul is starting to get right. Now you're going to see that outward effect. You're going to see that performance on the field. So,
and I actually, what did I have? I actually had another note. This team is one of the best tackling teams out there. They don't miss tackles.
Yeah, they don't. They're good.
They don't miss any tackles. I look at that because the Bills.
They don't make a lot of people miss.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm looking at I'm sitting here and I'm thinking. It can be done. It can really be done. And I wanted to touch on the Kansas City debacle, the Mahomes call, if you will. I've actually pulled up the most – what did I pull up? I pulled up penalties and how many times they've been called this year.
Okay.
Now, obviously false start is the biggest
now this is just the entire league.
Just the whole league.
Gotcha.
Now let me ask you this: did you ever know that there was a penalty for leverage?
Yes, I did.
What is that?
I'm kidding. I have no clue.
Okay, because it's been called 4 times. I have no idea. I don't know what that is. Leverage.
Yeah, that's weird.
There's a lot of stuff in here, but block above the waist, offensive illegal block above the waist. What?
Leverage. What is leverage?
I have no idea.
I need to look that up now.
You have to look it up. But false start is the biggest. I don't even know the word. The most called penalty. Offensive holding, defensive pass interference, defensive holding, defensive offside, delay a game. In that order. Then unnecessary roughness.
Oh man.
What?
So a leverage penalty it's a defensive penalty. It's when a defensive player is jumping or standing on a teammate or an opponent to block or attempt to block an opponent's kick.
Yeah.
So I can't give you a leapfrog up in the air so you can block a kick, basically.
Leverage. Whatever.
Yeah, I've never heard a leverage call. I've heard. How else do they call it? It's just like a personal foul or something like that now?
Something like that.
But they never actually say what it is.
They've only called taunting 4 times this year.
And Josh has definitely gotten like 2 of those, right?
Yeah. Tyreek's got the other 2. Did you see the what was it? The mic'd up where the ref went over to Tyree and said, "Hey, no peace signs this time." He's like, "Come on, can I do this?" Can I do this? The ref was like,
he did that for real?
Yeah, he was like, no. He was like, come on, man. I was crying. It was the best thing ever. You could actually look it up. Yeah, I saw it, and the ref walked over to him in the warm up while he was warming up, and he said, "Hey, we want you to watch out for the personal fouls, the celebrations." He's like, "Come on, what about a peace sign?" You know. And you know, you heard about DK Metcalf. He's taunting in sign language now. He learned how to taunt in sign, so they couldn't call it.
They're gonna find a way to call it.
Right. They're like, he's moving his hands.
Yeah, they're just gonna find him anyway.
What is that?
We don't know what that means. Flag.
This could be bad. Right. It's real bad. So I'm glad to look with leverage. So you learned something new today, everybody.
Yeah. Side note. Yesterday was the first NFL game that they had all black refs.
Really?
Yeah. And it happened to be probably the most boring game ever. Now, I'm kidding when I say that, but like for the Raiders of all teams to perform the way that
they want to see that. Raiders fans need that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They all taped it.
Yeah, right. It does make for an interesting AFC East for those of you who are international, but yeah, I just overall as a game, I looked at the scoreboard and I saw 35-0. I'm like, I can go to bed.
My man texted me. I was at work. He texted. I thought he was speaking in hyperbole. I'm like, okay. He's like, it's about to be 42.5. I'm like, man, you being exaggerated. And then I was like, I was like, oh snap! What did it be in 60 something to 21 or something?
Yeah, it was 63-21.
And you saw the press conference with Brandon Staley at the end?
No.
Somebody asked him for it. He said, do you think you're going to have this job tomorrow? And he said, I don't know. He said, I don't know.
Wow.
He said, do you think you deserve that job tomorrow? He was like, yes.
Of course.
Yes. No, I would love somebody to ask Mike McDaniel that question. He'd be like, you see, well, the way I kind of look at it, my words again. So the way I see this is if Tyreek plays and we have I'm like, wow. But extra side note, Tua, you know what? I'm not going to say it.
No, say it.
Tua might make it through a whole season.
Yeah.
He might make it through a whole season.
Isn't that something?
That's crazy.
I mean, they lost their center. They lost their left tackle. So
they've lost both receivers at some point.
If he don't get destroyed this week, he's probably going to get destroyed next week. One of the two.
What's going to happen?
One of these 2 games, he's going down.
And if you guys want to see a core meltdown, please go watch. I'm going to plug this. Go watch TD Finn's talk at the end of his live stream of the game, the Miami game. I mean, it was epic. It was so epic that other Bills podcasters actually replayed it. Because this guy, I mean, he's a Dolphins fan. Okay, the one I showed you.
Yeah.
This I'm going to show you before when we leave. I'm going to show it to you, and I actually might. No, I don't know. I'm not going to plug it because it's a long video. But I sent it to my friend, and he died laughing. And I died laughing.
You can post a clip on the Facebook page, right?
The clip is too long. So I can post it. Yeah, I might be able to.
Yeah, you can definitely post it. Like, so if you post it on the page, it can be longer than a minute.
Well, that's the thing. It's the video is like hours. So I would have to cut it down. I had to cut it to probably a 5-minute sample. Okay. So I'll show you because
you got that, or you need me to do that?
I'll work on it. Okay. I'll work on it.
Let me know.
I'll be calling you.
Okay.
I'll be calling you. Mel, I don't know what you know how to do, but you're going to be doing it too.
Listen, both of y'all. I'm teaching both of y'all. We all got to learn.
I'm getting better.
Okay.
I got the social media thing on lock, though. I got it.
Show do. So greatly appreciate that.
No problem.
Is it that time?
Mom, you going to have Ken home for me?
Put it in the chat.
Right.
Put it in the
Thumbs
chat.
up, you going to have Ken home. You're not going to see a thumb. She's probably...
Oh my gosh. It's going to be like a bunch of random letters and stuff like that. She's trying to figure it out.
No, she's just not paying attention.
Oh, snap.
But this is my favorite part of the show. The world famous.
That's what we're doing now? World famous?
Minute and a half.
Oh, man. Okay. That's a lot of pressure.
Cue that up.
That is a lot of pressure. Here we go.
Cue that up. And I'm not going to mess you up this time.
All right, if y'all hearing that music, you know what time it is. It is the last 90 seconds of this show. Let me tell you something right now. This was a fun show. I really, really enjoyed sharing this time with y'all. We doing a few extra things with the setup in the studio here. So, you know, you see some blue light, see some red light you ain't never seen before. Good, because you're probably going to be seeing some more stuff next week. I'm going to try to get a fourth camera in here to see if we can catch our producer over here nodding off and falling asleep and stuff like that. I'm just playing. But anyway, thank you to everybody that's been commenting, tuning in, locked rank. Please keep it coming. I'm so sorry I was late to getting your comment, but I will be better next time. For everybody else, please go to the Facebook page. If you have not started following us on the Facebook page, follow us there on YouTube. Make that thing.
Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I do want to apologize before you out. I want to apologize for being late. It was my fault. You know, he was ready. I wasn't. And also, as he said, if you're on YouTube, follow us on Facebook. But if you're on Facebook, please go to YouTube and make that thing tingle. Make it tangle, man.
Yeah. Listen. We are on everywhere. We got a TikTok. We got an Instagram. We're still populating those pages and all that kind of stuff. We getting there. Right now we got a producer and we too strong, right? And we got Mel coming on board sometime next week or something like that, whenever he gets time. So we're getting there. And guess what happened? Keyshawn made me late. So I got another 90 seconds to get through this.
And I said I wouldn't. Last time I did it on purpose. This time I did.
No, it's all. I can still blame you. It's all right. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody. Please hit us up. I'm gonna be we pretty much ended now. So with that being said, this has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I have been your co-host Aramis,
Keith,
and we's be out.
Deuces.